85% of Danes are Christians. Such a wild name, Forkbeard. Where you are, there's a maximum of 52 kilometers to the sea. What is up? Welcome back. Today I'm reacting to a video titled Denmark Explained. I did a video the other day about a Danish song that was one of the most popular of all time. I actually visited Copenhagen. It was insanely amazing. On top of that, I discovered that Legos are from there. Anyways, I'm learning all about Denmark. And in this video, I want to learn even more. What is up? If you haven't met me yet, my name is Aaron, and this is Aaron Arnold Reacts. Through this channel, I'm discovering everything about Europe, Denmark included, the history, the people, the sports, the food, anything you can imagine. I'm trying to learn it all. So if you're here for the very first time, make sure to hit like and subscribe. The goal of this channel is to laugh together, to learn together, and to have fun together. I post videos every single day, so you're going to keep seeing me around, and you're always going to have content to watch. But now, let's learn about Denmark and Denmark Explained.
A big map on the wall, chew on a piece of paper, and shoot it through a straw. Where the wet paper landed, that's the country we're starting with. And as you already know by the title of this video, we hit Denmark with the wet, pulp-like piece of paper. Which, if you think about it, is kind of weird since it's one of the smaller countries on the map. But hey, paper does fly in mysterious ways. But let's not waste any more time here and instead jump straight into our very first video. Denmark, it's your time to shine.
Such a royal entrance.
So we're starting off with a segment we'd like to call Quick Country Overview. Not too shabby of a segment title, right? Denmark is attached directly to the continent of Europe, where it's one of the smaller countries with an area of 43,095 kilometers squared. However, the Kingdom of Denmark also includes the Faroe Islands as well as the island of Greenland, bumping the area up to a significant larger size of 2,210,579 kilometers squared.
What? Greenland must be insanely big. Insanely big.
Denmark is also a part of Scandinavia, which commonly is the term used for Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. While the term the Nordics also includes Finland, Iceland, and their associated territories such as Greenland, Faroe Islands, and Åland. Yeah, try to say it yourself. It's not easy. Denmark is connected to Europe via its only on-land neighbor, Germany. All the other borders are maritime, with Norway and Sweden to the north and United Kingdom on the very far west, all the way across the North Sea. On the opposite of Denmark, being the east side, we have the Baltic Sea, and in between these, we have three passages, which is called, named from west to east, Skagerrak, Kattegat, and the Sound, or...
What? Skagerrak, Kattegat, the Sound.
Actually, it's called Øresund, but my Danish probably isn't on point here. The population of Denmark...
Wow, that's so beautiful. That's Nijhaven.
is around 5,800,000, which ranks them pretty far down on the list of countries and dependent territories by population. And we can spot Denmark first at number 115 on this list that consists of 235 countries and territories. Danish, or dansk, is the official language, and its closest relative is Norwegian, which is spoken in Norway, but most educated Danes do speak a second language as well, particularly English, but languages such as Turkish, Arabic, and German are also spoken at some scale, as well as a few other minority languages spoken mostly by members of the country's various ethnic groups. The official religion of Denmark is Evangelical Lutheran, but the country practices religious freedom, even though an overwhelming majority of Danes, about 85% of them, remained members of the state church called...
Wait a second. 85% of Danes are Christians? Is that just like on paper, or is that actual? Like, are they really Christians, or are they just on paper?
Folkekirken. But other than that, you'll find Jewish...
Wait, Folkekirken? That sounds like German. Maybe it's just similar.
Synagogues, mosques, and Roman Catholic churches around the country. The flag of Denmark is called Dannebrogen, and it's red with a typical Scandinavian white cross that extends all the way to its edges. And the Danes have taken pride in their flag for a very long time. In fact, it's the oldest continuously used national flag in the world, dating back to the 15th of June, 1219.
Wow.
So what's the history of this country? Let's jump into our history segment and find out. Since the...
All right, real quick, what I know about Denmark, Vikings. I know Vikings. I know Legos too. Legos are straight from Denmark. That's big in history. Every kid's childhood was around Legos. You know that.
End of the last ice age, people have been migrating from the eastern and southern parts of Europe to the northern area, a place which today includes Denmark. The rich soil, closeness to water, and terrain has ever since helped shape Danish history and culture. One of the most notorious periods in Danish history is the Age of the Vikings. It began around 793 AD, with the raid on the English tidal island of Lindisfarne. The Viking Age lasted for about 250 years.
Wait, really? I thought it was longer than that.
And under it, Danish Vikings were quite victorious under their time. One Viking in particular, called Sven Forkbeard, or Sven Forkbeard if translated freely, and his son Canute the Great, which
such a wild name, Forkbeard.
Translates to something like Canute the Great, were once kings of Denmark, Norway, southern Sweden, Greenland, the Faroe Islands, Shetland, Orkney, and parts of England. Now that's a handful to keep track of. Then came Christianity. In 965 AD, the Danish king Harald Bluetooth, yes, we know that translation is amazing.
Bluetooth, that's insane.
He was way ahead of his time with that name, got baptized, and the Christian religion became a big part of the Danish society. However, it didn't turn the once so brutal Danes into a people filled with peace and harmony just yet. They continued to fight to maintain and expand their lands a few hundred years more. The next major part in Danish history came in 1397 with the Kalmar Union that brought the kingdom.
Wait, I've heard of this. This is when Norway, Sweden, and Denmark joined, right?
Of Norway, Denmark, and Sweden together under a single monarch under the leadership of Queen Margaret I. This peaceful union lasted until the year 1523 when Sweden decided to break out of it. And this was the starting point of a long rivalry between Sweden and Denmark. In the end, Denmark lost the war to Sweden, who took over the parts that today is southern Sweden. This loss was one that really made Denmark into the country it is today. They introduced hereditary and absolute monarchy in the country, and it helped them form the strong, well-organized state it is today. In World War I, Denmark remained neutral, and after the war, their economy started to evolve. All until April 9, 1940, when the still neutral Denmark was invaded by German troops. Overwhelmed by the German war machine, the country got occupied for 5 years under the Nazis. But the light returned to the Danish people. On May 5, 1945, Denmark was free from the German occupation, all thanks to the Grand Alliance, which consisted of the UK, US, and the Soviet Union.
Wait, May the 5th, that's like today, actually. Wait, that's pretty crazy. May the 5th, 1945. So exactly, 81 years ago. Wow, that's insane.
Denmark's economy started to flourish again, and they became more and more internationally involved with increased exports of design goods, furniture, bacon, and butter.
Whoa, bacon. That's striking a chord with my American mind. Butter, too. Oh my gosh.
Today, Denmark is a constitutional monarchy ruled by representative democracy and a strong defender of free trade and human rights. So now you learned everything you need to know about the history of Denmark. So give Countries Explained some credit on your next essay, will ya? Now, let's go over some of those fun, interesting facts that you have all been waiting for here in our next segment. The Danish language has no word for please.
Wait a second. Okay. So is it very direct, like just do it? Or is it more soft, like, hey, do you mind like helping me with this? Because in the US, people just throw around please all the time. That's very common.
Danish people simply think that helping another person out is just something you do. And therefore, you should not have to beg for it. I kind of like that, to be honest. Speaking of the Danish language, they do have another pretty remarkable word in there, though. It's called hygge, and it's basically
hygge. I would have said heige.
A word for that cozy feeling of togetherness.
Okay, hygge.
The Danish pastry is actually from Austria. Most of us have heard about the Danish pastry called wienerbrød or danishes. However,
they're insanely delicious, but they're not Danish. There's no way that's true. My Danish friends, can you let me know, is it from Austria or is it from Denmark? Because my intuition tells me it's from Denmark.
Most of us don't know that these are actually from some Austrian bakers that settled themselves in Denmark in the 1840s.
No.
Also, this is why it's called wienerbrød or Viennese bread from Vienna.
Wow.
The two oldest amusement parks in the world are in Denmark.
That's so cool. It's funny. I know what he's about to say because I have been to Tivoli Park. Tivoli Park. I rode the oldest roller coaster in the world right there in Copenhagen. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Viking, which is just outside of Copenhagen, is the oldest in the world, and the second oldest is called Tivoli Gardens and is based right in the middle of the capital. Lego is from Denmark.
Let's
all
go.
Love it. I don't even care if you say no. I know you love it. Lego is amazing, period. And it was
It's so true.
invented by the Danish guy Ole Kirk Christensen in the town of Billund in 1949.
Wow, okay.
No matter where you're at in Denmark, there is a maximum of 52 kilometers to the ocean. So if you want an ocean view, move to Denmark, apparently.
Wait a second. No matter where you are, there's a maximum of 52 kilometers to the sea. I haven't told you this yet, but I am obsessed with the water, with the ocean, with rivers and lakes and sea. I might have to move to Denmark. It might have to happen.
Apparently. So what's the country really famous for in the world? Well, like most Scandinavian countries, it's known for its high-quality design and architecture.
Okay.
Brands like Bang & Olufsen are a major player in the sound business. But other than that, they also have the iconic red hot dogs called pulsa. And then there is Carlsberg, the world-famous beer, who probably has the best slogan in the world. You see what I did there? What about celebrities?
Wait, I don't get it. The best slogan in the world. You got to fill me in because I don't know what he's saying there.
Or other famous people. One of the greatest writers, Hans Christian Andersen, is from Denmark. And I'm sure you've heard about some of his tales, such as The Little Mermaid or The Ugly Duckling.
Of course. The Ugly Duckling. The Little Mermaid. I mean, there's a mermaid statue in Copenhagen, if I remember correctly.
Mads Mikkelsen is another famous person. The actor has been seen in movies such as Doctor Strange and Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Or what about the American series Hannibal, where he played Dr. Hannibal Lecter himself?
Wow.
And let's not forget about the physicist Niels Bohr, who in 1922 won the Nobel Prize in Physics in recognition for his services in the investigation of the structure of atoms and the radiation emanating from them.
Wow, okay.
All right, that's that. We could probably speak for an hour more about this amazing country, but we promise you guys, we won't rant forever. Just a quick overview of each country in the world, for starters at least. Who knows what the future holds? What did you think of this video? We would
Okay, insane video. I think he's done there talking about Denmark. Insane. Denmark, 50. Okay, you kind of sold me at 52 kilometers from the sea at any time. I mean, who doesn't love the sea? By the way, what's the cuisine like? When I was there, I just had the American foods. I think I remember having sushi. It was pretty good, but I mean, it's Denmark. It shouldn't be about that. It should be more about fish, right? Cod. Don't you eat a lot of fish? What is the cuisine like? I want to know a deeper dive into the history. If you have any videos for me that are deeper into Denmark, deeper into the history, deeper into the people, the culture, I would love to react to those and to watch those. Thank you so much for being here today. If you want to continue to follow this journey and learn and have fun right alongside me, I would love for you to join me. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the very next video. Cheers.